All right, welcome everyone. This is episode number 2 of the Street Couch. This is my cousin,
Hi.
Liz Alcantar. You want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, so my name's Lizbeth, Liz for short. We're cousins. We actually drifted apart for a long time, I guess.
Yeah.
Like our families just and you know what's crazy? Like we literally live down the road, like not too far. But I have like a lot of fond memories, like visiting
Same
you
here,
guys.
same
when we
here.
were
I remember you
little.
like babysitting me and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Like my parents used to like drop us off. So your parents are my padrinos. So,
Yeah.
they would drop me off and we would just like hang out. I remember like just talking to your mom and stuff. Like your mom was so cool and like she was like younger than my mom, so she's like, oh, like she's cool, like she gets it.
Yeah, I think like one of my earliest memories of you were like whenever like my parents went somewhere and they'd ask you to like babysit me, and like you were trying to like act like a mom kind of like. I remember that. I was like, oh, she's like my mom now kind of like, for tonight.
Well, I think that's like something that like my parents kind of like instilled in me. Like I always had that like motherly, even now, like I'm very nurturing, very motherly, and like with my little brother it was like
Yeah,
second
I
mom.
bet, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like 18 now, or how old is he?
He'll be 18 in November.
I remember when he was a little baby. I remember when he was born actually.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, he'll be graduating this year, so
Damn, time flies.
flies, bro. Yeah, but I think it's like my parents just always kind of like put those kind of like things on me. Like I was a responsible one. Like I don't know, and maybe it's like our culture.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like girls just.
I wouldn't know because I don't have any sisters.
Yeah.
So it's really like it's not like I'm not sure how it's like for girls to like grow up. You know, like it's really weird to like say, but like it's just like. Because like I have friends who have sisters and they tell me about their sisters and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how that's like.
Oh, it's like two different worlds. Like people think like, oh, you're the only girl, like you must be spoiled. And like in some senses, like I kind of am. Like I can definitely like when I was younger, like cry it out and like get what I want, you know? But at the same time, like I don't know. I've talked to other girlfriends like same experience, and there's this like thing where like you're like either the oldest or the only girl, and you have like this sense of like responsibility, and like you can't mess up and you have to be like the perfect like la niña calladita, you know, like you can't really express yourself type stuff.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and like it kind of sucks, but like also it's kind of good because like for us guys, from my experience, I feel like I can do whatever I want, you know.
Yeah.
But like, that's not always a good thing because like I always like it's like mistake.
Yeah, well, I think it's like a perfect example of like our generations, right? Like our parents' generations. Like I remember a big argument I used to have with my dad. Be like, I want to go to the movies. No. Well, how come Mitchell gets to go? Well, he's a boy.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
And I'd be like, okay, like what does that mean? And he'd be like, he's a boy, like you can't go, he's a boy.
Yeah.
And I was just like a very inquisitive kid, like I always asked
like why? Like why is it, me too.
Yeah, I need to understand why I'm getting the no, and like the response of like he's a boy made no sense.
Okay, yeah,
absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
And it would just be like big blow-ups because like later now I found out like my dad took me questioning as like questioning his authority, disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I was just literally just trying to
curious,
understand.
you know.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I was always quiet about it. Like I feel like right now I'm like questioning everything out loud, like on social media and stuff. But like when I was little, growing up, I always like stayed quiet. Cause like same with my dad, like every time I tried questioning things, like he would get like offended, you know.
Yeah.
He'd be like, nah, this is how the family does it or whatever.
Dude, I'm telling you, like the stuff you and I have talked about, like it really does like it hits me sometimes, because like even though we split up and we don't really like know each other after a certain age, like the fact that we have like similar struggles, like
it's crazy because like I feel like that whole time we could have like talked about it together, but like we didn't.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also too like thinking about our family and like how our parents were raised.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's just how it's just how their mindset
their experience. And then it's like crazy how like they talk about generational traumas and like that stuff kind of
they're passing it on too.
Yeah, like they grew up like it was normal. My dad tells me like it was normal for them to be like yelled at and things like that.
Yeah.
And having that like authority.
You're supposed to respect your parents like no matter what.
No matter what. Like if they tell you to do something, like 2.5 seconds, it's done. You know. And us like growing up in America was like, wait, what?
Yeah, and that's funny because like actually like before we got here, like this morning, my mom and I had like a big conversation because like my dad, he's like not too happy about me like looking for a different job because I'm working with my dad, and like one of my friends, he mentioned to me like he's noticed that like Hispanic boys usually work with their dads, and like yeah, it's true, you know, because like dads are usually like Hispanic dads are usually like business owners, and like they want to have their kids as employees to like teach them how to work and stuff. But like it's not really my thing, you know, like and like it's hard to talk to my dad about that. So like I talked to my mom about it, and she like understood a lot. She's like, yeah, I've been telling your dad this, but he just doesn't understand. But like it's okay though. Like it's not like I'm like, you know, trying to like get away from my dad. I'm just trying to do my own thing, you know. That's what I'm trying to do. So like I'm trying to talk to my dad more about that.
Do you think it has like you are the firstborn son?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And like I think like for my brother, like that's kind of how it was with him because like my dad has this thing, you know, like his own businesses, and he kind of, even us, like me and my younger brother, like he would always say things like, you know, when I go, like my dream is for you guys to take over, but like none of us want to be like running restaurants, you know, like, and it's like awesome that he did that, but like that's none of our passions. And like I'm thankful for my older brother for being like the one to spearhead like the no, I don't want to do this. So then I was able to say like, no, I don't want to do this. And now my younger brother like is like, no, I don't want to do this. And my dad's like,
for me it's like the opposite. Like my brother was the one who said like, you know what, I'm gonna do my own thing, and like they all like they were okay with it because my brother, he never moved out or anything. He always stayed here, so he always had that communication with them. But for me, I always wanted to like escape like, you know, the conversations. That's a big problem for me. Like I'm like learning how to do it now, like how to like go through the difficult conversations so like stuff doesn't get worse later on. Because that's been my problem with like everything, with like family, relationships. I just never like to talk about stuff. And that's bad because like it causes even more problems later on.
But you know, that kind of makes sense. Like from what I remember of you, like you were always like a really quiet, so like shy boy. Like I remember like I would talk to you, you'd be like, you know, like sweet, and I'd be like, oh, he's so sweet, you know, like. But it makes sense. Like you were just you're just like more of like a gentle soul. And like being the first, like you probably have like a lot of expectations.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then like your energy is not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something I learned about myself recently, like going to UH, I had a class about like it's called organizational leadership. And we had to like find out what kind of person we are. So we took like personality tests, and I found out my personality is like one who likes peace, like someone who likes peace. So it's like I'll do whatever I can to like preserve the peace. But that's not always a good thing because like I said, you know, like there's some things that you have to like talk about.
Speak up about.
Yeah, because in my mind I was scared. I was like, okay, if once I talk about it, it'll blow up and turn into a huge argument. But that's not always the case. Like I found out this morning, my mom, you know, she understood, you know, instead of like arguing about it, she understood. Like she even hugged me and everything.
Like, so like you feel some type of way and like you don't feel comfortable expressing it? And you like internalize it until you blow up?
Because like me, like I'm a really anxious person. Like I said, like I like stutter a lot. That's because in my mind, I'm like trying to like do things, like I don't know how to explain
You're
it.
You're like boiling internally.
Instead of like letting it like steam out, you know, it's all like boiling inside and like.
You're like a million miles a minute type thing. Okay, I totally get that because I was kind of the same way, but I also, like I said, I would question things. But I was like taught like you need to be a señorita, like you don't just be disrespectful, and especially in front of others. Like at home, like all bets were off. Like I would question, but like in public, I would just like have to deal with certain things, and then that kind of translated into like my actual world, like in school. So like authority, like when people were like mean to me, like I would just kind of like keep my head down. Or if things like I don't know, I was bullied and things like that. So I was like, no, I have to be the good kid. Like, don't fight, don't react. Like, you know, take the other, like a high road or something. And it's like good advice and stuff. But then like at a certain point, it's like No.
Sometimes you can't let people keep doing that. Because if you let them, they'll keep doing it. They'll think it's okay. Like, oh, it's okay, you know.
Yeah, or like I would laugh about it, like, haha, that's funny. But it's not really funny, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually really annoying me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was like, I want to say like 22, 23 when I kind of felt like I started getting like a backbone.
Okay.
I got like my first like, I guess, big girl job. I was working at that office, like that clinic.
Okay, yeah.
And the manager, or like, no, she wasn't a manager, but she had been there for the longest. I introduced myself. People always struggle with my name. It's Lizbeth, Lizbth, and people would be like, "Oh, Elizabeth," and I'd be like, "You can just call me Liz," you know. But like, it's like a trigger for me. So anyway, she learned my name and was like, "That's complicated. We're gonna call you Betty."
What?
And I was like, "What the fuck, Betty?" Like, okay, I guess, like, sure. And I let it go on for like a few months.
Uh-huh.
And like, you know, I was like growing and like doing different things, still in school, learning to like, I don't know, I was going through a lot of stuff, depression and all that. I was putting in the work, and like one day I just looked at her and I was like, you know, I don't like to be called Betty. Like, my name is Lizbeth. If that's too hard, like, just call me Liz. Like, I don't understand what's so hard with Liz.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know, you just kind of seem like a Betty. And I'm like, no, like, and like she tried to like make a joke out of it, and I know she didn't mean anything by it, but it was like one of those little things, like, it's my identity, and you're literally trying to tell me who I am.
They're like choosing for you.
You're choosing my identity, and you think this is okay, and it's not okay, and I'm laughing about it, so you think it's okay to laugh about it because I'm laughing about it. So like, maybe I shouldn't laugh about it, and I'm gonna be like, no. Like, I had to get serious with her. Like, no, I don't like that name. Betty sounds like an old white lady with like caramels in her purse. Like, here you go, young lady. Like,
or like Ugly Betty.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, no. So after that, like, she started calling me by my real name.
Okay, yeah, I see stuff like that. Cause like you're not trying to cause any problems. You're just trying to, like, if anything, make things more at peace. Cause like every time they call you Betty, it's creating more like of attention, resentment. You know.
It's like, too, like, speaking up for yourself, because I was like really insecure and like really shy, and like, I don't know, I just didn't like to cause issues.
Yeah.
So like, I'd rather just like, don't look at me, like, don't worry about me, I'm like in the corner, like, no one worries about me because I'm good over here.
Yeah.
But then after a while, it's like a little isolating, you know?
Yeah, it really is.
A little isolating, like, not knowing when to speak up, or like, you have all these thoughts and emotions, and you feel like you can't express it because, like, fear of, like, what people are going to say, or, like, I was the same way as you. I still kind of am. Like, hold things in, and I, like, would blow up. And people would be like, Liz, like, chill. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like, it's been a million other things.
Oh, yeah.
And this was just, like, what is it?
The
like,
last straw?
the last straw.
Yeah.
And I just blew up, and it probably was something really stupid.
Yeah.
But it's like, I couldn't say it until now.
Yeah.
And that's like really toxic to get to that point.
Yeah.
But like, that was just my process back then.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I'm still struggling with stuff like that. Like, I just lost a friendship because, like, there was little things, you know, that bothered me, but I stayed silent about it because, like, this friend was really helping me, you know, through a lot of stuff, you know, like they were being really supportive. But like, yeah, over time, like she started being really disrespectful to me, and like I felt like I had to like speak up about it. I was like, you know what, like, I'm trying to stand up for myself, you know, like, as a person, you know, like you said, like, you know, I have my own identity and stuff, and you can't just like assume all these things about me. So I blew up, you know, and by doing that, that person blew up, and like we both kept blowing up at each other, and it was really, really bad. But like,
breakups.
I blame myself though, because like I should have said things as I was having thoughts about them, you know, like, because like I said, the reason why I didn't bring stuff up is because, like, you know, she was helping me out.
Yeah.
And like I didn't want to stop that. But
like, she wanted to help you out.
Exactly.
You know, like, that was her choice. And as a friend, like, thank you.
Yeah.
But like, you're allowed to feel how you feel. Maybe like your way about going about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
But like, your feelings are valid, like, if you want, because I had a similar situation, like, my two best friends growing up in high school, like, I was always, like, not popular. Like I was just like a loner. Like I love doing my own thing. I love being in my room watching TV.
Yeah.
And like my best friend, like she was like my childhood best friend. Like she was my neighbor.
Okay.
And she was kind of cool, like popular. She liked to go out and stuff. And she would like come to my house and like drag me out of bed. Like, you need to come out. Like, you need to come party with us. And I was just not about it, you know? But like in my head, it was like, well, she's cool. She has a lot of friends. Like, maybe she's right. Like, maybe I do need to get out of my shell. And it's like, to a certain extent, like, I appreciated that, like, get me out of my shell. But, like, also, why am I not enough? Like, why who I am is not enough.
Okay. They're not appreciating who you are now.
Why do you feel the need to, like, fix me?
Change you.
Change me, yeah. Like, and that's, like, her thing. Like, she would always tell me, like, oh, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, you need to go out more, stop being so boring, like, things like that. Like, I just like to stay at home, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I've noticed that sometimes there's people who like just want to have you along for the good times, you know, but like they don't want to actually like care about you and like actually like look into like how you are and learn from you and stuff, you know?
And that was kind of like how our friendship ended. So, well, like I started doing like a lot of work and I started going to therapy and I started like evaluating my life and I started like understanding the power of like no.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I want to do this. Like, and you need to respect my boundaries. So like boundaries are like huge for me. And when I started saying no, she didn't like that. And like we had like this huge blowout and she kind of told me like you're doing all this stuff and like good for you, but and you're changing, but like if this is who you're becoming, then like I don't like who you're becoming.
You're becoming like you like a better version of yourself.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, and that's what I was like really like mindfucked because so like a little background I guess, like she was like cool, you know, so like she was like that friend, like we grew up together, but like she had her other friends. And like she would go off and hang out with her friends and like it was just like normal. Me and my other friend, we would say like, oh, she, you know, she'll come back whenever she's ready to hang out with us.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, it's fine, like we love her, like that's who she is, you know, she's a little crazy and you know, when we get back it's like oh, no time has passed and it was great and like she was a good person and yes, we had fun together. But then I started kind of questioning like, what do you mean? Like, you want me to just drop everything I'm doing because now you're ready to hang out with me?
Okay.
Like...
It's only when it's convenient to her,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. So, like, before this big blow up, like, she had been doing her stuff and, like, we hadn't talked in, like, years. And I had gone through a lot of stuff, like, a lot of personal, really heavy things. She wasn't there for me. And, like, not that I reached out either. But... like, if you're my friend, like...
should at least want to see how you're doing.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. And, like, then she was going through some stuff. And that's when she came back. And, like...
oh, okay.
Because she needed us.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I'm sad. I need you guys. Come hang out with me. Like, come drink with me. And, like, I was trying to study for a chemistry test. And it was like, no, come on, don't be lame. Like, ooh, you need to be there for her. She's hurting right now. Like, girl power.
Yeah.
And it's like that guilt trip of like, damn, am I being a bad friend? But like, also, I had gone through all my like school stuff where I went to UTSA. I kind of didn't do so well over there. I had to come home, reevaluate my life. And I was finally back on this like focus.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, she was not there through all that. And I'm in my grind, I'm in my focus, I'm like determined.
Keeping that momentum, you know?
Yeah, and like you literally come to my house with alcohol and are telling me like, you're fine, you're smart, you're the smart one, we know you're gonna be fine. Well, clearly being the smart one didn't help me out in San Antonio, so I had to come home for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and I told them, no, like, I can't do this. And that was, like, the big thing. Like, oh, you're changing. So it was just, like, me finally saying no to them.
It's really important. Like, I'm just learning that.
Yeah. And it's, like, I love you guys. It's not personal. Like, you guys, great. Like I said, in certain times, I need that. I need people to get me out of my shell. And I appreciate that. But you also need to respect that this is who I am.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 30, like... I've realized that's who I've always been. I'm kind of a loner. Yeah. I enjoy my me time. I enjoy being away from people. I get overly stimulated.
Like you
really
get recharged
fast.
when you're by yourself.
Yes,
You're an introvert. That's how I am too.
I'm so introverted, but like people don't think I am because I'm so like talkative and
yeah.
Like if you talk to me, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna talk back. Like I come off like super extroverted, but like
it comes at a cost though. You're using up energy, you know.
Yes,
You need
and
to like recharge.
I need
after a
to
while.
recharge and I need to get away from everyone and everything because it's overwhelming.
Yeah, same here.
And like this is who I am, and I love who I am at this point in my life. And if you're my friend, you're gonna accept that. Like
like whenever you're so focused, like you'll see who's really about it.
Yeah.
You know, who's really about like being your friend.
Yeah. And I went through a lot of life changes at that point, and like I lost my two best friends in my life. And it was like really sad. It was like a friend breakup.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Like I find myself like, you know, it's been like what, 4 years now, almost 5 years since all that happened, and like a lot has happened since. I finally graduated. I started my career, like all that stuff, and I feel like I'm on a big high, you know. But it took a lot to get here.
Yeah.
And I'm like definitely behind the curve, you know, like I just got my bachelor's degree.
I don't think you're behind, you know. It's just what
people might say. Exactly. Like I always say like I'm not the traditional student.
Yeah.
Like I didn't glaze.
Like you're still super young, you know.
Yeah.
Like I see like your whole career ahead of you still. Like you can do so much more.
Thank you. No, I do appreciate that. Like it's just like not like you're in high school and they're like, and people are like, where are you going next year? Oh, you're going to UT. Great for you. Oh, you're just going to Lone Star. Why? You know, like and for me, I was just smart. Like I was a smart kid. I just had no direction.
Yeah, no, I was the same way.
And like I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but like maybe like being first gen, like we don't know.
There's no one like to helping us, like walking us through this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, or like, and maybe like I didn't have enough initiative to ask the right questions, because I know plenty of students that like first gen, same situation as me, and they asked all the right questions and did all the right things, and they graduated in 4 years, and like more power to those kids, to those people, but like that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like I struggled, and like I went to Lone Star and I was trying to figure it out, and then I went to UTSA. Didn't work out over there.
That's like Lone Star and UH for me. Like,
and I took like a break, and I was like, that's when you asked me about doing the cert. I was like 100% do that, because that's what I ended up doing. Like, like I knew that I wanted to do something in this space, but like I had to figure it out, and I wanted it to be worth it. Like I did a project at UHD because I was still doing it. I was still at UHD and Lone Star, since I had already done all my prereqs, and I was still trying to figure out like what am I gonna do with this degree. Okay, let me backtrack. Sorry, I was gonna do bio to go to med school.
Okay.
Everyone does that.
Yeah.
And halfway through, I get to UTSA. Shit got hard. I had a little too much freedom. Party a little too much. And I started second guessing myself. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not like the one that's gonna do this. What will I do with this biology degree? So I started researching. Bro, nothing. Like I'm gonna be without a job for like a year.
Yeah. I think like subconsciously you're just unhappy. That's why you're doing all these things. Cause like, you're trying to find like the happiness. You
know? And so I didn't want to like waste time, money. Like my mom was working so hard to help me get through UTSA. Yeah. Same, you know, and I felt like horrible that I'm like I don't even know if I want to do this. Like and they're just like, yeah, Mika, my Mika.
Same here.
My Mika's in school, you know.
But I saw like all these people and shit.
Yeah, and like you see the family members like, oh, she's still in school, congrats. Oh, you're so smart. Like, and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell them that I don't know if I want to do this. And so I got like on academic probation.
You got what? A recommendation?
Academic probation.
Oh, probation.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
so you're going to sign up for more classes?
Yeah. Well, no, I could. It was just like, if I did bad the next semester, like, then I would have to, like, take some time off and reapply.
Okay.
So I was like, fuck. So then I ended up coming clean. I told my mom. And she was like, well, come home. I'm like, come home, figure it out. And I had, like, a really dark year of like being at home and trying to like figure out what I was gonna do. I was like super depressed, and I like my mom. I don't know, my mom was like my hero, honestly. Like
Nice.
she was like, Mija, like you can do anything you set your mind to, like, and but she kind of like let me be.
Okay, yeah.
Like she wasn't like pressuring me to like
putting ideas in your head.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
She was just kind of like, hey, it's okay. Like
Just
you'll
relax
figure it
and
out.
figure it out on your
You'll
own.
figure it out, yeah. And then she actually brings over like she works. One of her coworkers, her daughter did like the medical assisting program at Pima.
What's Pima?
Pima Medical Institute. It's like one of those trade schools.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So you could do like MA, dental assisting.
Is that here in Houston?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's, nursing assisting, phlebotomy, like all kinds of.
Is it Pima like PE or PI?
PIMI.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And they even have like a bachelor's now in like radiography.
Damn, that's
so
cool.
It's actually a pretty good trade school.
Okay, I never heard of it actually.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't know about it. I'm such an advocate for it. Like, guys, if y'all don't know, if you want to go into the healthcare space, like, there's this other school you can do. And like you.
As opposed to like doing the whole like bachelor's, master's, or whatever.
Yeah, because that's not the only route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not the only route. And so I did that program. It took me 9 months. Because I talked to the daughter and she was like, try it out, whatever. I did that program. It took me 9 months. I started working at the oncology clinic.
Okay.
So I was dealing with cancer patients. Loved it. Excelled there. Moved up like real quick in the company. I like became the manager.
Which company was this at?
So it was at Memorial Hermann, but it was a clinic.
Okay, so like an independent business or?
Yeah,
okay.
Independent business, and we did the chemotherapy in the office.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had like 1 nurse, 2 physicians, and about like 5 staff members, including myself. And I became the manager, and we had like an in-house lab. So I was like doing phlebotomy, making like drawing blood, running some tests, doing billing, doing coding. Like I literally
doing a lot.
Yeah. So and like okay, medical world tend to get like we're understaffed in the medical world. It's just a fact.
Especially now.
Especially now, yeah. And so I was doing a lot, but it was like for
it's good
me,
for experience.
Yeah. So when I was there, I was like, dude, they're giving me like a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. You know, and I had some coworkers that were just like, nah, I don't get paid enough for this. Like, we did not get paid enough for the stuff we were doing. But for me, like, I knew that I wanted to continue with school. And it was kind of like, this is a stepping stone.
Yeah,
right?
For sure, yeah.
So I moved up. The doctor actually would always talk to me and be like, hey, like, what are you doing? Because you're really smart. Like, are you going back to school?
Okay.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to get the money together. I want to decide what I want to do. And just through being there, I like would ask questions. I started learning about like, because it was cancer and blood. So we had like hematology, oncology, blood related issues, and cancer patients. They kind of go hand in hand, but there's other patients that don't have cancer and come through like they just have like anemia or like blood clotting issues, things like that. So I was like learning about that through the experience.
Yeah.
And like I'll never forget this. Like this was like my like jump to like go back to school. A patient came in and I was just like doing their vitals, asking questions, and I had read about it in one of my anatomy books, and I would be in the room all the time with the physician translating. So he mentioned he was getting like a cramp in his calf, but the patient was there for thin blood.
Okay.
He was like bleeding out type stuff. But he was put on warfarin Coumadin, which is like a medication that'll help with clotting.
Okay.
So he said like, yeah, like my leg, my calf, like it kind of hurts, like it just feels tight. And I asked him specifically like, do you feel like you have a cramp on your calf? And he was like, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. So I was like, okay. Well, let me draw your blood, let me look at the numbers, and then like we'll have you see the doctor. Blood work looked okay, but I just like had this feeling. And I go and I tell the doctor like, hey, I know that he's here for like the opposite issue, but I think he might have a blood clot. Okay. A DVT, which is like a blood clot on your leg.
Okay.
And I was like, so I don't know, just letting you know, like this is what he mentioned, and I think like it's worth looking at. So then he like looked over the blood work, he talked to the patient, and he comes back and he was like, you know, that's a good observation. Like let's just do a ultrasound on his leg real quick. Like, let's see what happens.
Okay.
And we were like in Memorial Herman, so it was like, just go upstairs
Okay.
and go get it checked out. Literally like 2 hours later, the doctor comes back and he's like, congratulations, Lizbeth, you just made your first diagnosis. And I was like, what?
You weren't even trying to do that.
Yeah, I was just curious, you know, and that was kind of like, okay, this is where I should be. Like,
yeah, like it was like a kind of like indicator that you're in the right path.
Yeah, you know? and I used to be like really insecure, like, no, I'm not good enough, like I'm not gonna make it in this world. And like, no, this is not what I should do. Like I tried doing business, all this other stuff because I was like, no, this is hard. This is not meant for me. I'm not good enough for this space. And I was like, no, I am actually. I'm just not at the level of some people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there quickly. I wasn't there at 18, 19, 20. But like...
You're still going to end up there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like, that made me go back to school. I got into the program at MD Anderson, which was like a huge blessing.
That's the one you just graduated from last year?
Yeah. So now I'm doing that. And I plan on going back to get my master's. But now it's like, going through that experience, it made me realize, like, it's not a race.
Yeah.
And, like, I have to be really intentional with what I want to do. And I think there's actually value in that. Because we get pressured as kids. Like, my younger brother in middle school was like, I have to pick a track. Because now they have these tracks in high school.
Like career tracks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to graduate high school with some sort of something.
Okay. Oh, like, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
So he'll be like AutoCAD certified.
Oh, that's cool.
He's in architecture.
Yeah.
And then he's also like Adobe Photoshop.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
like
he's like an audio video something. I don't know. He does a lot of videos. It's really cool. But I remember him being like so anxious, like 8th grade, like what do I pick?
Okay, yeah.
And I would be like, dude, chill. You're in 8th grade. Like,
even if you pick the wrong thing, it's okay. You know?
Like just pick something. Yeah. You'll find out you like it or you don't.
If you don't, just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's like beautiful to like make mistakes.
Yeah, you have to make mistakes. I feel because like if you don't, then like I don't know how to explain it, but like mistakes are like learning experiences. You know? Like extra learning experiences. Like besides like we actually learn. Exactly.
And I just don't think like the traditional way of doing school, like it's not for everyone. And like I said, kudos to people that do it, but like I mean everyone has their own path.
Yeah.
And even in my like MD Anderson's program, like we had 2 tracks, the 2-year track and the 1-year track.
Okay.
The 2-year is like you're transferring in your last 2 years of your undergrad, and then the 1-year track is mostly people that already have a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And we had like 5 people come in my senior year for the 1-year track, and all of them had like awesome people, like love them. They were great people, really smart, and they had these degrees, but like they needed a post-bac in order to like get themselves to where they needed to go next. And it's kind of like, like it kind of just put it into perspective. Like I used to feel less than, you know, like, oh man, like I'm this old and I still don't have my degree, and look at these smart kids, like they're like 20 years old and already, you know, but wait, we're in the same program.
Yeah.
we ended up in the same spot. We're sitting in the same table. Yeah. Like, okay, you know, like that says a lot. And like, I don't know, it's just, I hate this whole idea of like, if you do it this way, like that's the way to do it.
Honestly, I feel like it's all like marketing, like college marketing towards like high schools and stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it into our heads that you need to like go to college straight after high school. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's people should take like a gap year, honestly.
Yeah, to like try and figure out like before they like commit to this whole thing, you know? That's what I did, and like I wasn't even the right thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people do that. I have a lot of friends my age that like graduated. They don't even use their degrees.
Damn. Yeah, they're still working at like other jobs.
Yeah,
you know?
they're just like, nah, this ain't for me. Like, and especially because I was in the bio world, like everyone was trying to do bio to go to med school. And then they don't get into med school, and then they're like, well, what do I do now? And it's like a huge slap in the face that like Cause like a bio degree is not easy, bro. Like it's science. Like
Yeah.
it's not easy. If you go science, math, like those type of routes, like even what you're doing or what you were doing technology,
Yeah, computer
engineering, that's hard.
Yeah, fucking
It's
calculus and shit.
yeah, and then a lot of people do it just because it's like, oh, like these are good degrees
You
to
get a good
have,
job, you
good
know.
job. But like, are you passionate about it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be happy waking up every day doing that?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that was my goal ultimately. Like, if I get this degree, am I gonna get a job right after? Am I gonna be able to support myself? Am I gonna be able to be like self-sufficient and happy in what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I didn't want to just do something and like not be happy.
Yeah, or else what's the point?
Yeah, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's our lives. You know, it's not my parents' lives.
Yeah,
They don't get to live my life.
That's true.
I have to sit with my decisions, not them.
Yeah.
They could be like embarrassed or proud or whatever it is.
That's their thing, you know.
Yeah, that's your problem. That's not my problem. My problem is that I chose this degree and like, am I happy with my own life? Like, I have to live with myself every single day. I have to wake up and look at myself in the mirror and like.
That's a good way of putting it. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I have, but I just haven't like put too much thought into that.
It's a little selfish, like some people say.
You have to be.
But you have to, yeah. Especially like, I don't know, going back to like our culture. Like, our culture is very like la familia.
Collective.
Yeah, collective culture. Yeah, everything we do is a reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I kind of say fuck that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
like,
kind of toxic, you know.
Very. And like in some ways it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
But
you have like
like,
a support system and everything, you know.
Mm-hmm. But like in other ways it's horrible.
You try and brainwash you into thinking like that and stuff like that.
No, not me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like
I think that's the cool thing about living here in America because you're exposed to all these different ideas and stuff, and like it's a good thing if you like take your time with it, like you said, you know, instead of like jumping into things.
Yeah.
Or even if you do, it's okay. At least learn, you know.
Yeah, and just like learning by yourself too. Like there's so much out there.
Like books, podcasts, YouTube,
travel even.
Yeah.
Like you know, like experiencing other cultures, and like learning about other people's thoughts and processes, struggles. You kind of find out like everyone's kind of the same.
Everyone's trying to figure shit out.
No one knows what they're doing. No one knows what they're doing.
Even like Bill Gates admits that like to this day he still likes to like learn because he doesn't like to assume he knows everything.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you'll stay where you are.
Yeah.
And people are gonna pass you up.
Yeah.
So you have to like always be learning, be willing to learn.
I agree with that. Cause like that's why I've been doing a lot of reading recently.
Same here.
Cause like I graduated and it's like, well now what?
You have to keep learning. Yeah. It's important.
So I started like a little book club at work.
That's cool. That's good.
Cause I was just like, you know, I just graduated. Like I want to keep. Like, I don't know, it's been like this entire time trying to graduate, trying to figure out, like trying to meet that goal.
Now you did it. You know?
And I did it, and it's like, okay, well now what, you know, what's next?
Yeah.
And it's like kind of also like really empowering, like that I did it, and it's like I did something, I committed to it, I was able to do it no matter how long it took me, I did it. Possibilities are endless.
Now you're thinking like, what else can I do? You know?
Yeah, like I can literally do anything I set myself like my mind to.
Like all you have to do is choose and do it. That's it. You know?
Yeah, and that's the part people struggle with is choosing, and they think like, oh, I can't because money, or I can't because time, or I can't because whatever your reason is. Like those are just like your.
Do you want to hear my reason? Well, like for not choosing certain things, it's because like I feel like if I choose something, I'll be stuck in it. You know, like.
Yeah.
Like for example, like right now I just got hired at HEB, and like I was just trying to get a regular position like at the deli, but the guy interviewing me, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna teach you everything so you can be a manager.
Oh. Shit.
But like this whole time, I didn't want to be a manager because I felt like if I was a manager somewhere, I'd be stuck there forever. You know. But he told me like, you know, there's people here that come and go, and that's fine. You know, but like if you're here. Like there's so much opportunity for you here, you know. He even gave me more than what I asked for, like for the pay rate, and he told me I'm gonna teach you everything so you can be like manager also.
Heck yeah.
Because he saw it in me, but I didn't, you know. I was like,
but that's like, but you know, that's actually very valuable. And and like I totally understand what you mean by like being stuck there, because I used to say that to myself. Yeah. So, like I don't want to be stuck here. I don't want to take a manager position. I don't want to be stuck here. But actually, you're gonna learn a lot of leadership skills.
Yeah, so I can take that somewhere else where I want to take it. You know.
And like honestly, anything with business. So like I know you're like really into like music.
Everything's business.
Everything's business.
Because if you don't learn business, even like in music, you get taken advantage of.
Exactly. So if you don't understand how money works,
everything's money.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
So
especially here in this country, you know.
Take it, man. Honestly,
I did.
I'm proud of you. Good. Yeah.
I'm proud of myself too. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I was just looking for a normal job, you know.
No, like that. Honestly, it's always like when people see things in you that you don't see in yourself. Like trust that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like literally bleeding out of you, but like
it's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah. It's like you're refusing to see yourself in that light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like clearly, people see it. So like that has to say something.
Yeah, and like it's making me think. Okay, like what else have I been denying? You know, like what else have I been like looking the other way? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like something you said earlier, like when you said you started learning how to say no. Like I've told you about like how I listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast and everything.
Yeah.
He always says that. He's like, you have to know how to say no. When your friends want to go out to eat, say no.
Yeah.
And like when he was saying that, I like said no. I had to say that more. No.
Yeah. No, it really is a powerful word.
Yeah, because people take it like the wrong way usually. Mm-hmm. But if they really care about you, they'll understand.
They're gonna understand, exactly. Are you kind of like people pleaser a little bit?
I feel like I am.
Yeah, that's how I was too.
I remember like, I used to like throw parties just for my friends to like think I was cool or whatever.
Oh,
like you know, like make them think that like you know I'm a cool guy throwing these parties.
Are you like anxious about what's going on? Hey, do you have a drink?
Yeah, well like even before the party,
is the music
I'd be like,
okay?
Yeah. And I realized, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm only like, you know, these people are having a good time, but like, what about me? You know, like, am I having a good time?
Yeah, like I'm stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Like, I like what you told me when we were texting about like the whole glass and the water thing.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot now, like every day.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, do I have enough water in myself? Like you want to explain it to the audience?
Okay, yeah. So it's literally like, okay, so this water bottle, and like you are this bottle. And like the water is your energy. So like you and I, like we talked about, like we have to recharge, you know? So people often think that like when you have people in your life, like, okay, I need to share my energy, like because I care about that person. But and so like you'll be giving them from your energy, right? But like what you should actually be doing is making sure that your bottle is full, your glass is full,
and then you can give a little bit.
Whatever's overflowing, like that extra is what goes to them. Like you always have to be full. 100%. You always have to be full. And if you're not full, don't give out your energy because
you're just killing yourself basically.
You're killing yourself. You can't, and it's honestly kind of goes hand in hand with that whole like airplane thing, the analogy, like if the plane is crashing and you're with like someone, put on your life mask first.
Okay. Because
if you're not safe, how can you help others?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same type of analogy. Like, how can you help someone fulfill themselves or help them if you're not helping yourself? Like, you have to help yourself first.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like people think it's like selfish, like to worry about yourself, but I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, like.
Because if anything, like when you take care of yourself, you can take care of more people, you know?
Yeah. Like when you're full, like it's just that much easier to like be there for others.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I used to be bullied, so I just hate when people feel bad. Like I just never want people to feel bad. I never want people to feel like I felt when I used to get bullied.
Okay.
I want them to feel alone.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Yeah. And like for the longest, I would just like drop everything I'm doing to be there for people. Like that example with my friends.
So you brought that up. I was the same way. I would think like, oh, like I hate it when people told me this, so I won't say that to other people for a long time. But that's kind of toxic, you know, because like not everyone's the same. You know?
Yeah, not everyone's you.
Yeah.
Not everyone has your heart.
Yeah.
I had to learn that the hard way. Like not everyone is as caring as you are. Not everyone is empathetic as you are. I feel like you're an empathetic person.
I try to be.
Yeah. You seem like kind of, one of my conversations with you, like, you try to like I feel like you probably feel people's energies a lot.
Yeah.
And so that what kind of gets you in your head. That's how I am. Like
even like through text, I get people's energies like through text.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, man. And okay, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, soy bruja or what? Like, no, but no, I honestly feel like awkwardness. Like, I feel like, did I just say the wrong thing? Like, their vibe just changed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And I used to be like so caught up in those feelings.
Yeah, I was thinking like what did I do? What did I say?
Did I mess up? Like, oh shit, was that not the right reaction?
Like a friend told me recently, people are dealing with their own stuff usually. You know, sometimes it shines on you or whatever they're going through. But like I have to like realize it's not all personal. You know.
It's not.
Yeah.
I used to take things so personally. I used to be that way, like, and like now it's just kind of like, no, like you said, like people that know you or care about you, they're gonna like know that this is who you are, and like who you are at your core is not that person, and independent of like what you did that day, or like you had a human moment, you had a bad reaction, like independent of that moment, those that truly know you know who you are at your core, and they're not gonna judge you
off of that
one moment, you know. And if they do like judge, it's more of like it should be coming out of love, like, hey man, like that's not a good way to react, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And like don't take offense to that. That's like them genuinely loving you and telling you like, hey, like you realize that's not like, you shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like let's talk about it, you know, because I used to be like, what do you mean that wasn't, no, I'm right because that was fucked up what you just said, or whatever.
You're trying to stand up for yourself, you know.
Yeah, because you're trying to stand up for yourself, but like no, like
there's just better ways to go about it, you know.
Yeah. And so it's just like realizing those things.
Do you journal at all or anything like that?
Kind of. So when I was little, I used to go hide in my closet and write angry letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like my therapy.
It's pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's very therapeutic, you know.
Yeah, I used to, like I said, like I never used to, like I would blow up at people eventually, but like before I got to that, like I would go to my closet and like literally just like write anger and like literally like it's so dramatic too, like I would like make fun of myself afterwards, like, oh god, Liz, you're so fucking dramatic, like
what did you do? Like,
I don't know, like I would just like big letters over like I hate, like huge, like scribble the H like multiple times, you know, like
okay, yeah, make it like bold
like,
or whatever.
I don't know why, like I get so angry, like, I would just get so mad because like I can't express that. And I would just like internally would be just like like that other podcast you have, like I literally, when you said like you would want to like throw a chair.
Yeah. It's
like you're that angry, but it's like why?
Yeah.
Why am I this triggered? You know, like this is like chill, bro. Like, and I would like laugh at myself or like be embarrassed that I got that mad. Like I didn't do anything, or like if I did do something, like no one saw. You know, it's like just me by myself. But like I just did something to release my anger.
Yeah.
And then I'd be embarrassed. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
That was dumb. Why am I that mad?
Yeah, I mean it's valid. You know, we're human. We're supposed to have different emotions like that. If you weren't mad at all, like I'd be more scared, you know.
Yeah,
why won't you get mad, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's like for me, it was like I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
At home, so I wasn't allowed to
express it.
Yeah, or even like my dad would always tell me like, "Ay, tan chiquita y tan amargada."
Oh my god, yeah, same with my parents.
Because I would just like walk around like serious, like I'm just bored, like they literally expected this. Hey, like all the time, 24/7.
It's not possible.
And I still struggle with it. Like even at work, like I'm conditioned to be like, "Hi, good morning. How are you? Good morning." Like that's manners. That's how, you know, be a good human being. Good morning. But then like I go through that like in some days, and then some days I come to work and I'm just like, "Hey."
Yeah.
I'm so low. Like my energy's so low. And people are like, "Are you okay? Like what's wrong?" "Oh, I'm fine. Like I'm just here." And I used to get so irritated. Like, why do I have to be on? Why do I have to be on?
Do you know, like, if there was anything that caused you to be like that, like low energy, or like, do you think it's just like part of the natural like cycle? I guess.
I think it's, yeah. I think it's a second. I think it's part of my like natural cycle because like I struggled a lot with depression and anxiety since high school, or honestly, it's probably since middle school.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it was bad. I there was attempts.
No, yeah.
I was younger, and yeah, but I think it's like so when I finally went to therapy, I went to the doctor first, and now they do those like depression assessments, you know.
Okay.
And I guess I scored really low, but I at that moment didn't think I was depressed. Like,
You scored really low, like in terms of like you had bad depression or like not that bad?
no, just like they ask you questions and like, have you ever felt like this low? Do you currently feel this or whatever? And like, my score was enough for the doctor to question me. And I didn't, like, I know what, like, how low I can get with my depression. So at that time, I was like, I'm fine. Like, no, I'm okay. It's like, I just always, like, I'm dealing with it. Always,
yeah,
right?
It's a part of me or whatever.
Yeah, and then she was like telling me like, have you ever thought about therapy? And I'm like, nah, like I'm good. We don't do that. I'm fine. That's not real. And she did this whole like visual for me, like, cause she knew like I was working at the doctor's office, and like with every other type of test, like blood test or whatever, there's always like a range, and there's like a normal value. Okay, so like blood pressure is like what 120/80. That's like textbook definition of blood pressure, good blood pressure for a normal, healthy person with no medications, no type of diseases. Like that's the textbook perfect, right? That's
what is it?
120/80.
120/80.
So that's the number. But like an athlete might have like a lower number because their heart just works faster. Or I don't know. It's like yeah. So there's like a range, and there's usually the textbook number, and then there's like the normal low, and then there's like a normal high. And anything outside of those parameters, that's when you get concerned. So if you're at that perfect and you're between that normal number, perfect number, and that normal high, it's like, oh, it's a little high, but like let me ask some questions like. How's your diet? Okay, that makes sense based on your diet, or that makes sense based on your activity levels, blah, blah, blah. So she kind of gave me that same visual with depression. So there's normal textbook, people have highs and lows, and there's that normal textbook like number where you're okay. And then there's like the normal low, like something happens to that person, like your car breaks down and you don't have the money and you're low. So you're like, fuck, like you were operating here because you don't deal with depression normally. You're operating here at the average and you dip down and you're still within that normal low. And vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Someone that suffers with depression, that perfect average number for you, you're like lower.
I see. That's your normal, I guess.
Yeah, you're normally low. Like at a normal low, but you're lower. And when something happens, you dip down, your low is like low.
That makes a lot more sense.
And I was like, huh. I never thought about it like that. Maybe I should talk to someone. Yeah, and I don't know, therapy just kind of helped me like deal with like my lows, you know? Because I just naturally am low and high and low. Like, there's no fucking in between. Like, maybe I'm bipolar. I don't know. But, like, yeah, like, I used to tell my mom, like, there's, like, bipolar depression in commercials. Mom, I think I'm bipolar. Like,
honestly, like, I feel like that's mostly, like, just marketing. People trying to sell you medication and stuff. Because, like, that happened to me. When I went to see a therapist, they told me I needed, like, antidepressants.
Oh, yeah, I never got medicated.
I tried it, but, like, it wasn't for me, honestly.
I went to therapy, but I never got to a point where I got medicated because I kind of I don't know, maybe my depression's not that bad, but, and I'm, you know, not to knock it, like, there's people that take it and stuff.
Yeah, it helps them, you know?
Yeah, but I read somewhere that, like, anxiety is a symptom of another root cause. So, like, to then like medicate your anxiety, you're kind of putting a band-aid on the cause.
On the cause
or on the symptom. Yeah. You're putting a band-aid on the symptom and not the cause. So let's try to find the cause of the anxiety and try to work on that before.
I agree a lot with that.
Yeah, like one of my friends was telling me like she has ADHD, and like she also suffered years and years with anxiety, and she just recently got diagnosed with ADHD, and her therapist was telling her like, oh, you know, since you have ADHD, like that's probably the reason why you have anxiety.
Okay.
So now that she's being treated for her ADHD, like she feels less anxious.
Okay.
Because she's like, oh shit, like a lot of this stuff makes sense now. Like why I'm so anxious about stuff. So I don't know. It's just kind of like trying to find out like what's causing your anxiety.
Yeah. Okay.
And treating that.
No, I agree a lot with that. Cause like when I saw a therapist, they were telling me like all these things like, damn, I feel kind of like nervous saying this, but like I used to like smoke and stuff.
Oh,
and,
like,
insane. Yeah, and I would tell a therapist that, and like the therapist would be like, "Oh, that's causing the anxiety," you know. But like, I was like, no, you know, if anything,
actually helps me.
Yeah, I was saying that, but like in my mind, I was thinking that's a symptom of like the root cause, you know, and like they're trying to treat all the symptoms, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I was causing more turmoil inside me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I stopped going. I'm still gonna go eventually, you know, but like at the time, it wasn't helping me, you know.
Yeah, well, also too, like they say like to look for a therapist because not all therapists are equal.
You have to shop around, kind of.
You have to shop around, yeah, because like some therapists just kind of sit there and like so one therapist I went to, like I would talk and like she just like wouldn't say nothing.
Okay.
And I would be like,
what's going on here?
are you gonna like therapy me?
Yeah.
Like I'm just talking, and it just kind of felt like I needed feedback, you know, like I need like reassurance. Like I realized like
are these thoughts correct to have, or like, you know, what's going on here, like
yeah, or just like even like ask me a question about what I just said, like question me.
Okay.
When people question me, like I think that's very helpful for me. Like instead of being like, don't do that, like it's like, hey, why do you think you did that?
Okay.
And then that gets me like not defensive, because if you just like tell me like don't, like I'm gonna get defensive.
Yeah.
But then when people question me and like
what makes you want to do this?
Yeah,
like
okay. It gets me thinking, and then it's like I can put my guard down. I don't have to protect myself right now, and I can actually think
think about it and talk about it more, you know.
So that's been really powerful for me.
Okay.
Asking questions. Still an inquisitive person, I guess. I don't know.
That's good. Like I said, like you should always want to like seek more information. Is there any like books that you've read that have helped you, or like?
Well, I told you about that one book I recently read.
The one by John Deloney, or okay.
Own Your Past, Change Your Future.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one's been really helpful, especially like with my relationship right now, because I feel like I have that like that boiling up thing, and like I kind of get it from my dad, and like I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, because then you take it out on him, you know.
Yeah, and I get like really triggered about certain things that are really dumb, like he left his socks on the floor, and I've asked him like 5 times to not leave his socks on the floor, and like in the book he has like this whole like little activity to do, like actually write it down, and like I mean it's stuff I've heard before.
Write what down, like what's getting you mad, or like?
Yeah, so it's like stop, like when you're feeling triggered, like stop and write down like how your body. First write down like what you're feeling, and then write down how your body is responding.
Okay, like if you're like breathing fast, like shaking, okay.
And I remember like I had already read the book, and it had been like a week or so, and the whole time during the book he's like, get your little notepad and start writing something. I'm like, whatever.
That guy's really smart. John Deloney.
Yeah, dude.
I like hearing him on the podcast, the Dave Ramsey podcast.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He went to school for this.
Yeah, he's super skilled, like all these master degrees and shit.
Yeah. So he knows what he's talking about, and like I was like, I'll write it down, whatever. But I didn't, and then a scenario happened where it was like something like that, like the sock thing, and I was like just mad, and like my boyfriend tells me all the time, like when you're mad, like I feel it in the air.
Okay.
Like it's tense in here.
Yeah.
And he always just like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like if I try to help, you're already mad. Like so I just stay out of your way. And we've had a lot of conversations like that, and I felt horrible. Like my anger shouldn't be so bad that you have to like literally stay out of my way. Like that kind of reminded me of my dad when he told me that. Like it kind of hit me hard. So I was like, dang, like I don't want to be that way. I don't want my future kids to like experience that, because that was literally my dad.
Yeah,
My dad was angry. It was like, go to your room, go and get out of his way, because he's just gonna like take it on whoever he sees.
Yeah.
And like, so sock thing happened, and I'm over here like, ugh, like in my head, I go in this like internal dialogue, like, I have to do everything myself. You don't help me. Like, it's literally dumb. Like,
it makes sense though. Like, it's valid. You know.
It's like couples arguments.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, oh, like, and I have this idea of like, I never want to have like those gender roles. Like, I don't like. There are certain things like that only I as a woman can provide, and only him as a man. But like, I also am of the idea that like, no, you can wash dishes.
It should be fair, you know.
Yeah, like I'm a working woman, you're a working man. Like, I shouldn't have to work all day
and then come home and do
to
all
clean
this, yeah,
and make dinner and prep lunch for tomorrow. And
damn.
like,
I was the same. Well, like I would let my girlfriend do all that, and I didn't. I feel bad.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
yeah.
Honestly.
Well, and then he would be like, "Well, I have a lesson plan because he's a teacher and stuff." So then I'd be like, "Okay, that's cool, but like I had a long day too, so like." I get that you're overwhelmed, but like you need to figure it out, because like we're in this together, and my life will not be this.
Yeah, it shouldn't be one-sided.
Yeah, yeah, and we had like a lot of conversations about it. So like that day when that happened, I was just like angry cleaning, which is like something I do.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I angry clean because I'm also very OCD. I have this thing about being like super particular about where things are, and so I was just like mad, and he's just like my boyfriend, like, hey, I'll help you, what do you need me to do? It got me so much more mad.
You just lash out in the moment.
Why are you asking me what to do? You see what needs to be done. Fucking do it. You're not my child. I'm not your mother. You're an adult. You're a self-sufficient adult, you know, like, and it's like my reasonings are valid, but like the way I go about it is really bad. So then he was like literally being so kind, like, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I'm gonna start doing this, and I was like, no, don't worry about it, I got it. And he just like ignores me and like continues to do like help out, you know, and I'm like still boiling, like I'm boiling inside, like. So I stopped what I was doing, and I went and got my little notebook.
Yeah,
I went and sat down. And I like pulled up the book, and I was like, all right, it says write down how I'm feeling right now. Well, I feel, you know, this and this and that. And then I did the body response thing. Like, as I wrote down what my body was feeling, like everything started to kind of like
fall into place.
Yeah, like
calm
I
down
was
as you were. Okay.
It's like my jaw was clenched, my heart was beating fast, my face was hot, like I was tense. And then it's like evaluating like what after you figure out like what is coming up for you. And like what was coming up for me was this whole like, I have to do everything myself, I can't trust anyone, even if I ask for help, like people aren't gonna do it right.
Okay, yeah.
And I just don't need people, like I don't need anyone, I can just do it by myself. People are unreliable, men are unreliable, like I have major trust issues. Clearly.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
And then like I went through that experience, and then like at the end of it, it's like I feel guilty. I feel ashamed that I'm acting this way, because he's a great guy. Like he's honestly a great guy.
I can see that, yeah.
And like, why do I feel like I can't trust him?
Yeah.
Like why do I have this trust like thing, and like past stuff.
Yeah, it's just your
whatever.
past. Yeah.
And like. After I did the little exercise, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with me? And like I shared it with him, and I was like crying, and I was like, I hope you don't hate me. And he's like, no, I could never hate you, you know, but no, that's like really powerful that like you're saying that, and like thank you for sharing.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. So like that's something he tells me, like it'd be one thing if you were like this way and you weren't self-aware.
No, being self-aware is like huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. And he's like usually like, you're probably gonna apologize in a little bit, so I'm just gonna like sit over here. But like I just want to stop doing that.
Yeah, okay.
And ever since I did that exercise, it's been like a couple months now, and like I don't blow up. I haven't blown up like at that level. And like blow up as like internally blow up or externally blown up, which is like huge.
That's a good thing you did that with the notepad. Like that's why I asked you if you like journal. Like,
Yeah.
cause like I think you should journal even at the times you don't feel like that. Like if you think you feel normal, you should journal at least to see like how you think you are normally.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's something I've always wanted to do, but like.
Just don't think about it. Just like like make it easy for you. Like put a notebook on your desk at all times and like. Whenever you're about to sit down or whatever, just like open it up a little bit, write down a little bit, and that's it. You know, like don't, because you're thinking about it too much.
Yeah, well, that's what it is because like I do have this like I wanted to explore like my creative side and like creative avenues, but like I'm kind of like scared to. And I have like a few stuff I've written and stuff, and I just like have it with me, and I don't want to share it because I feel like oh, no one cares, what would I have to say type stuff, but I don't know, maybe
you'll be surprised. Like you don't even have to share it, just keep it to yourself, you know. If you do want to share it, like make a blog or something, like
dude, I've thought of that so many times, like what if I start a blog,
you should do,
no
like,
one knows who I am,
don't tell anyone, make a
and
username,
just start writing,
and you'll see how many people like it. Like to this day, I made a blog last year. I don't do it anymore. People are still liking my blog posts to this day. Yeah,
dang.
It's crazy because like I don't even know them, but like I like to think that I'm making an impact somehow, you know. Like like I think you should do that. Like it's not that hard. Like I'll help you out if you want.
Yeah.
There's this place called WordPress.com.
Okay.
Choose a template and that's it.
I've looked into it.
It's free. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I have stuff and I've been scared to share it and like.
Just do it like anonymously, like you said. You know.
Yeah, I've looked into it. Even that and WordPress and Blogger before.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just like stop myself. Like I look into it and I'm like, nah.
Just don't even think about it. Just do it. You know. Just tell yourself, I'm bored. You know. I'm gonna just do this because I'm bored. You know.
Okay. Well, maybe now that I've graduated.
Yeah.
I'll
there's less pressure. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because before it was like, nah, I can't do this.
I was telling my friend Furman, like in the first episode, like even if you're not creative, you still need like an outlet. You still need like, you can't let out your thoughts. You know, like I feel like if you put your thoughts down into words, you can see them. And sometimes you'll see how ridiculous they are. Like, oh shit, I was really like being kind of dumb right here.
So
you know?
Cringe. And, well, see,
it's okay though.
So what I remember, I told you, like I used to write in my closet. Like I would write this stuff and I would rip the pages.
Okay.
Like I never want people to know how I feel. Yeah. Like, and like now this year I started, like I've opened up to my boyfriend. Like I write stuff and he's like, oh, that's good. You know, I don't share it with him. But like. I started writing and not tearing up.
Yeah, pages. That's good.
So I think we're moving in the right direction, but yeah, I'm definitely like barely coming into like my, like who is Liz now? Who like before it was like Liz in high school, Liz after high school, Liz trying to make this dream, this accomplishment for my family, for the people, you know, like now it's like I did it, but like what is the real, like who am I actually?
Yeah.
Because my identity revolved so much around the collective, right? Like,
or like your credentials, you know,
and who I am, and like people ask me all the time, like, what do you like to do? I don't know. I go to school.
Yeah. Like explore, like what makes you happy, what makes you feel relaxed. You know, like I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, like. Yeah, the whole blogging thing I was doing anonymously, but after a while, like I've noticed people don't really understand me, like, you know, and I frustrated me, you know, because like, you know, I'll open up a little bit here, like I'm pretty sure you saw my post about like the porn addiction stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, like that was private last year. It was just like something I shared with like 3 people or whatever.
Honestly, I really commend you for sharing that.
People message me like, people message me. They're like, dude, like I struggle with the same thing. Like, thank you so much. And I felt good because I gave people a voice that I had no idea I was doing, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's talked about enough.
It's not.
It's like such a taboo topic.
Yeah, I've tried to talk about it with friends and they're just like, oh, okay. But like they never shared their part, you know? And I was like, what the hell? Like I'm over here sharing my thing.
Am I weird?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But after a while, I'll stop caring. You know what? I am weird, you know?
Yeah.
People think I'm weird anyways. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell everyone about this. Just so because like I feel other people are dealing with it, but they're too scared to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, but once I did that, I feel like I gave people a voice, and they would reach out to me. They're like, "Dude, thank you so much." You know, like now I feel like I'm not alone.
That's awesome.
So I want to do more stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, like make a difference and like be that person to like spearhead it.
Yeah,
you know?
and I wasn't even trying to do that. I wasn't even trying to like.
But see, that's what's like beautiful about it. Because a lot of times that's how things work out. Like, you're just genuinely being yourself. And you're genuinely talking about things that, like, are passionate for you.
Yeah.
And, like, make a difference for you. And, like, this is part of your healing
Exactly,
process.
exactly. That's exactly what it was. And the fact that I helped other people in a way that made it even more powerful, you know? Mm-hmm. And, like, right now, like, you probably don't think you'll do the same thing, but I'm telling you, you probably will.
Yeah.
All these crazy thoughts you think you have are probably going to help someone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
true.
Right now it seems like it doesn't, but once you do it, like, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I'll try to get the courage, but one step at a time.
yeah. Like, if you need help, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
And, like, I have experience doing, like, blogging and stuff, making websites. Like, I'll help you out.
Okay.
I journal. I try and journal. Like, my journal's right here. I don't know if I'll read what I have in it, but, like, just so you can get, like, a little glance. Okay. Because this started out as, like, a lyric book.
Dang.
You know, I had lyrics here. Uh-huh. But I suck at writing lyrics. I was like thinking, you know what? I'll just start writing journaling. You know, like, feel tired, but I have a lot to do today. You know, shit like this. You know.
Okay, for me, like, my journaling isn't like that. It's more of like, okay, it's kind of like it sounds so. I feel cringe saying this, but
no,
like,
yeah.
But like for me, I feel like it's like poetry.
It is, yeah.
Like it's not like a long it's usually like a few words.
Oh, okay. I see.
It's usually like me pouring my emotion out, or like just like a thought, or like a frustration, or even something happy. And it's usually like a couple sentences. And I think it's because when I was like what grade? Probably like 11th grade. We did like poetry in English class.
Okay.
And I remember like learning about like the period, like the comma, like the way they added the 3 dots at the end, like
how spaced apart.
Yeah, like our teacher really like explained all that to me or to us, and I was like, whoa, like punctuation. Like, it sounds dumb, but like,
no, it's cool because like it's an art form of itself.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. The way you like that 2 words can be so powerful if like placed in a particular position, you know. And I don't know, that's kind of like how I feel. I let out like whatever it is I have going on inside the best, like, because if I just start like word vomiting, like it's literally that, like just word vomit, like, and then I feel like I go into crazy rants.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I'm gonna try that because you saw how my notes are just like rambling. Yeah.
Which ain't nothing wrong with that either, but it's just like for me, like I've done both, and like when I guess journaling for me is like, it is therapy, like when I do it, and it's like I'm going through something and I have like this internal something that I'm just like going crazy inside, and like I need to just do this real quick. And so usually I can just like a word is being repeated in my head over and over, and like I tried it one time and I was like, why is that word like nothing, like everything is like foggy, and I mean like
except for that one word.
And so I just wrote it down, and then like as soon as I wrote it down, like more words started coming, and I was like, what does that mean? And then it was like little short, like I literally feel like it sounds like in my head like I'm having like a fucking, like, I don't know, like I'm getting, what is it, like schizo, or I don't know,
like a stroke or something.
Like I'm having like a stroke or something, like, or like I'm like convulsing or something, because it's like it's not making sense to myself. But then once I write them together, like the bigger picture comes.
Like, we're describing it, or describing art, like music, paintings. That's what it is. Like no, seriously, like, because people look up at musicians and artists and they think, oh, they're so amazing. Like they saw all this in their head and like they put it, but like that's not the case. Like sometimes it's like a little like section of it. Okay, maybe I'm gonna draw a face. Okay, maybe this person has hair like this. You know, stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because like the whole reason people think it's all like complete, like, for example, like Travis Scott, you know, like one of his songs, it sounds very psychedelic, all these like weird vocal things. Like, he probably didn't have all that big image in his head. He probably thought, okay, I'm gonna say this. What if I add this effect to it? Okay, it sounds cool like this. What if I add this little beat right here? You know, like, it's all little by little.
Interesting.
But because people see the full product,
yeah,
it's marketed as a full product, you know, and
like how did that come together?
Yeah, it's a process. Like, That's what art is.
Yeah, that's kind of how my writing goes. Like, and it's usually just like I'm going through something, and like I said, like this word or like couple words are like, and I'm like feel anxious. Like usually my anxiety's kicking in.
As you're trying to think of the words, or like.
Yeah, it's like I feel this like, and I even sometimes like I'm doing stuff and I just say it like to myself, like, or I say it out loud to myself.
Okay.
And I'm like repeating the word, like this is what I'm saying. Like I feel like I'm OCD, like, or like I am OCD.
Do you have an example of like sometimes like of a word that you think of?
So like recently, it was like weeks, and like the word detached kept popping up.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And I'd just be sitting there and like I'm going through this like wave of anxiety.
Okay.
And I was like, I couldn't breathe, and I literally pulled out my phone and I was like, okay, detached. And period. And like once I did that, and then like more came out.
Okay.
And then like something came out of it, but it was kind of like really powerful, like doing that and like writing it down and realizing that like in that moment. So this was right before I started like reading the book and like doing all this stuff. I realized like my post graduation life, like it's this like it's a weird space to be in.
Okay.
Like at least for me, like I had this goal, I accomplished it, and like I said it earlier, like now what? And I was feeling really like detached from my life, from my surroundings. Like I had set up all these boundaries in order to reach this goal. And then like now I was like I accomplished this thing, but I felt very alone.
Okay.
Because like no one really in my life around me, like our family, like I don't feel like they get it.
Okay, yeah.
And like they don't get everything I had to go through. And like I don't really interact with a lot of our like extended family, but like everyone came to my graduation and it was cool, like I enjoyed it, and like if it was like awesome that everyone was so proud of me, but like I don't know them.
Yeah.
And then like my older brother, he means well and everything, but like growing up he used to always tell me like, oh, you're not Mexican enough, like things like that, like, or like, oh, you're embarrassed of us or what. It's like it's just not my vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a little like I listen to rock, like I listen to like I don't listen to corridos, you know, like you know, like I can get into it here and there, but like it's not my jam, you know, like that's not, I'm not gonna go to the baile every weekend, you know. And it was kind of like weird because like I graduated, everyone was so proud of me, and I felt the love, but it was like I did this. Like, and
it's kind of people trying to like feed off your success, kind of.
Yeah, and like and it sounds weird to say it out loud because like I feel like it sounds kind of selfish. Like people are proud of me and like they want to like be proud of me and stuff, but like man, I went through hell and back. Like literal hell and back. Like it was insane. I was doing the last year at MD Anderson, we were like 8 courses per semester.
God damn.
Yeah, and like we couldn't choose, like this was it.
It's
and
mandatory.
Like every time I would go to like the random baby shower with my mom because she like made me feel guilty or something. Oh, look who decided to show up. Wow, it's a miracle. You know, and it's like, it's not that I don't want to be here, guys, but it's like I have
stuff to do.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing with friends, like, oh, I never see you, like, and it's just like, dude, like, y'all don't get it. Like, I was literally in this boat by myself, and like I had no one to guide me, and I had no one to show me the way or like to tell me it's okay, I've been there. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get what you're going through. Like,
it was never like that.
Yeah, like, and I felt like I was alone, and then I kind of like graduated, and I'm like, okay, well, I am Mexican, like, this is my family, this is where I come from, I would love to know more about it, but like, I unfortunately like don't connect with my culture too much.
Yeah.
For some reason.
No, same here.
And it's like, am I a traitor, you know, or something? Like, it's like a weird space to be in.
No, that makes a lot of sense, especially like having a Mexican family, but like living here, you know, like, because in my case, like I feel like I know they mean well, you know, like people like our culture, but like I feel like they're very judgmental. I feel because I had coworkers, you know, Hispanic ladies, they would always be nosy and like laughing at me, making fun of me. Yeah, like chisme, you know.
Yeah.
And like that's cool. Like I know they mean well, you know, they all like me and everything, but like doing all that, it just added more to my anxiety and stuff.
Yes,
And,
it's like the expectation of our community, right?
Yeah.
Like to be a certain way, or like if you're too American, like you're not proud of who you are. Like I'm proud. I was born in Mexico. Okay,
too, yeah.
like I'm proud of where we came from.
Yeah.
I know my dad at some point had no shoes. You know, like I know what my parents went through to get us here.
Yeah.
So for more of a reason, I think I should push myself to be different, right? Like
different from like not being too Mexican, or like what do you
I don't
mean,
know, like too Mexican, but it's like so. I don't know. Maybe this is why our families split up, but like our families, like they party like every weekend, you know. And it was like, well, it was always a fight with my dad, kind of like, oh, you don't want to go to the fiesta. Like, no, okay. I don't want to go. I have school, or like, cause it was like a random Sunday party or something, you know. And it's like, no, I don't want to go to that. I don't want to go. Like I'm tired, or just it's too loud.
Yeah.
The music's so loud.
It's kind of overwhelming.
Overwhelming, yeah. I don't feel like talking about so and so, and sabes que la otra ya se embarazó. Ay, sí. You know, like, oh, ya tiene novio. Like, and like that kind of conversation kind of stresses me out. Yeah. I don't.
Because like, what's the point of this conversation?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
what am I getting out of this? And so like, me not wanting to go to those parties, like I feel like some family members maybe feel like I kind of look down on them or something, or like I'm embarrassed, because my dad, even at one point we had a conversation, he told me that he thought I was like embarrassed of our family.
Okay.
And it's not that I'm embarrassed, it's just like not my vibe.
It's just not who you are.
Not who I am. I want to go, like if I hang out with friends, like I want to be able to hear you talk.
Yeah. Not like yelling and shit, yeah.
Hola, yeah. And like too, like I don't know, like I want to talk about things that matter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like what's the point of this conversation? Like, where is this going? You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. And it just feels like, I don't know, like they came all this way, and like we could have been doing that in Mexico. Yeah. We could go party every weekend in Mexico, and like where we come from, like. You know, our family members, like, we come from nothing. Like, we were poor, you know. We come from the rancho. And I don't know if you experienced this, but, like, here, I grew up in JV, so, like, it was, like, primarily white and, like, some Hispanic. And, like, even the Hispanic kids there, the Mexican kids, like, everyone was from, like, Monterrey or some shit. Like, Ciudad.
Yeah.
And, like, I would tell them about my shit. Like, oh, like, you know, zapateado, like stuff like that, like, or chuntaro, you know, heard of that word? Yeah. And like people would be like, what? Like I felt even different within the Mexican community.
Yeah, no, same here.
Because we're from a rancho, which is like
very poor, you know.
Yeah, like we had nothing, like, and so for me it's just kind of like, well, I love our family and I love like the fact that everyone else is so connected and bonded, but like you look at the stats, like a lot of our cousins, well, I don't know how much you know, like, our family side, but, like, a lot of our cousins have had kids young.
Yeah.
Haven't done, like, graduated, gone to school, stuff like that, or just done something different. Like the go-to is, like, get married, get a job, have a kid, have a family, and keep that going. And, like, beautiful, powerful, if that's something that is for you and you want that for yourself, but, like, I never grew up saying when I grew up, like, I want to have, like, I want, like, that's my goal.
The first priority, you know?
Yeah, like, I knew I want to have a family.
Yeah, eventually, you know?
But, like, I also grew up saying I want to graduate. Like, I want to go to college.
Yeah.
Like, those were my, like, when I grew up, I want to go to college. Like, I want to be a doctor. Since I was, like, 8 years old, I was saying I wanted to be a pediatrician. So, like, I don't know, it's just kind of, it kind of felt weird, like, I have this goal, this educational career goal, and then my family is like kind of subconsciously pushing this like idea of like you have to have a family to feel whole and complete.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's what happened to them. You know, once they had their family, they felt like they had a purpose now.
Yeah, and like for me, like that's kind of like fuck.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't need to have a kid to feel whole and complete,
Yeah,
right? Like you should complete yourself.
And then you can, you know, have other stuff.
Yeah.
Like help your kids and family and stuff.
And I just feel like it just kind of keeps the trauma going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah,
you had that kid to fulfill, like you feel whole because you had that kid, and now you want them to live vicariously. Like you want to live vicariously through their lives.
Yeah, it's kind of toxic.
Yeah.
They want their kid to like do all these things, all these big things, you know.
And it's like, oh, you
like to make me and the family proud.
Make
you know?
me proud. Like don't embarrass me like so and so's kids. Like,
yeah.
And
That puts so much pressure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes kids are forced to do things they don't even want to do.
Yeah.
Like in our case.
Yeah. Like for me, it was always like, oh, like when people would come over, like, sírveles agua. You know, pregúntale si quiere algo tomar.
Yeah.
And like, why don't you tell my brothers that? Like, so I grew up like having to be this very like woman, submissive, like, and I was for a while, and like I had an ex relationship that was horrible, and like I kind of allowed, like based on that, like I thought that that's what I was supposed to do, like like put up with certain things. And then when I finally like got free of that, and I like with my current boyfriend, it's like no, I don't have to put up with that crap. I can change it for myself. Like I don't have to deal with like just because you're a man and you're my husband or you're my boyfriend or whatever. Like I don't owe you that. I can change it, you know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like a lot of our like where we're from, like our family members, like they don't think like that.
Nah, there's like specific gender roles we're supposed to follow. You know?
And just like I don't know, just like partying every weekend. That's not for me.
Yeah. Something that I hate is like how men are taught to like not show emotions. You know?
Yeah.
Like even my dad, he like brushes it off. He's like, oh yeah, we're men. We're not supposed to say stuff. You know, like express ourselves. You know, we stay quiet, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, but like. I'm like, wait, I don't know.
That's
this
horrible.
Okay? Yeah.
I hate that. I used to like, so my older brother, he would like hurt himself or something, and he would like go cry. My mom was very nurturing, so he'd be like, oh, mijo, you know. And my dad, like as a joke, you know, like to him it's a joke, but like it's kind of not a joke. He'd be like, no chilles, pareces vieja. You know, and it's like sounds so vulgar, but I would like hear that stuff and I'd be like, why does he say that to him? And like to the point I would like defend him, and I'd be like, don't talk to my brother like that, even though my brother was like really mean to me. But like I would be like, don't belittle
You still
him.
like feel bad for him.
Yeah, because I was just the empathetic kid, you know. And like, don't talk to him like that. Like he hurt himself, and then he'd just be like, I'm just joking. And it's like, no, like low key, like, and now my older brother, like, he struggled with like expression a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like interesting how all that plays a role, right? Like the male world, the female world.
Yeah, like I get it. You know, like men are supposed to like, you know, be strong always to carry the family and shit. Like I get it to some extent, you know, but it's also I feel like it's healthy to like show emotion, you know, because like if you're not showing emotion, you're being disingenuous.
Yeah.
You know, and that causes kids to think, you know, like, oh, okay, maybe my dad's right. We're not supposed to show emotion. But that, like you said, it just carries on, you know, generational trauma and shit like that.
Exactly. And like, not only that, but it's just so bad for you, like yourself. Like not
bottling up emotions. And stuff.
Yeah. And it's like weird how like both genders have to do that in our culture. Like we can't express ourselves because we have to be this certain way. You have to like respect people, and like I've learned now, like, you can respect people, but you can also
respect yourself also. You know?
Yeah, like you don't have to put up with certain things. So it's just like growing up and realizing that you don't have to like hate certain things. You can be okay with certain things. You can forgive, but you also can like be okay with yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Like something that just came into my mind right now is that like I realize how like like in our families, our cultures, we're supposed to show that we're Mexican. So like in the way we dress, the way we talk, and like I'm not like that. Like
Yeah.
you see, I have like my long hair. I like rock music
Yeah.
and stuff. And like at the last party we went to, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show everyone I'm not like them. I'm gonna show everyone that I'm like how I am.
Yeah. Good.
And like
Good
yeah,
for
that was
you.
good. Yeah, yeah. And like yeah, I met some of my dad's like aunts and stuff. And like after the party, a bunch of them added me on Facebook.
Oh
And like
God, dude, I hate that everyone's like trying to add you, and you're like,
and
no.
like they saw all my guitar stuff. And like one of them reached out to me. It was like my dad's aunt. So it's probably your aunt.
My aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think her name is like Alcencia, something like that.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know her exact name honestly,
We
but
have
like
so many family members.
yeah, but like she reached out to me. She's like, hey, like andas en la música, ¿verdad? Like qué bueno,
Yeah.
She's like encouraging me. Oh, cool. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's good because when you express yourself, you don't have to lie anymore. You don't have to like be trapped in a lie. You can
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah, like I used to be so afraid of like what they were gonna think of me because of like all the pressure from my dad, I guess. More so my dad than my mom. But like then I got to a point where I was just like whatever, like I'm tatted, I have tattoos, like but I'm still a good person.
yeah, that's what
you
matters.
know, like, and I go out and I drink, and yes, I am a woman and I drink, but like that doesn't mean I'm a freaking alcoholic.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't go out every single weekend, and like that's the thing. Like be yourself.
Yeah.
Like fuck what everyone thinks, and like if people are just gonna like judge you for like being yourself, you don't need to be around that.
I feel like that's their problem,
Yeah, that's their problem. That's not a Liz and Irving problem.
Yeah.
That's a they problem, and they can deal with it and love us, or they just don't have to be around us.
Yeah, yeah, like what you said, like you don't like, you're just expressing yourself, like getting drunk like every weekend or whatever. Like my philosophy has been like I can do what I want as long as I don't hurt myself or other people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing that, if I'm like at least building myself up a little bit, but in the process not hurting myself or someone else, and I'm in the right path. I feel.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I totally agree with that, because obviously like drinking and doing all that stuff, like it could definitely get to a point where you're like, okay, what
it's
am I
a big
doing?
problem,
Yeah, what am I doing? Like if you're not reaching like your high potential, you're not constantly trying to like reevaluate what are you doing and like move on, level up to the next thing. It's like, what are you doing? Are you happy with where you're at? Because this is what you're doing. And
people like might lie to themselves, be like, yeah, this makes me happy,
Mm-hmm.
But like, is it sustainable? Like in the long run?
Exactly. Yes, that's such a perfect word to describe that. Is it
Yeah.
sustainable? Because it's not. At least it wasn't for me. Like I had my little thing in San Antonio. I was drinking a little too much, but like I was really depressed at the time.
Yeah, like it goes
Super
both
depressed.
ways, like with vices, but also with like being like trying to always do something to better yourself. Because like you've heard like in Dave Ramsey, like when they say the gazelle intense, right?
Yeah.
And there's people that call and they say like, oh, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all this, and Dave's like, wait, is this even sustainable? Like,
Yeah.
like you're doing good, but like, is this sustainable in the
How
long run?
long can you do this
Yeah.
for? Yeah, 100%.
He has to tell people to like back off a little bit off the plan because like
Yeah,
it has to be healthy,
Yeah, I have heard those. You're right. Dang. It does have to be healthy though.
Yeah. Yeah, like sustainability, that's like a big word I've been like having in my mind, I guess, like, because like what I'm doing, I have to think, okay, am I gonna be able to keep doing this in 10 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with music, I tell myself, okay, how can I do this and like keep doing this 10 years? Because I have to talk to my bandmates about that, because I have a bandmate, I mentioned him in the first episode, I'll mention him again, his name is Carlton.
Okay.
He's really...
Carlton!
Yeah, Carlton's badass. He's heard that so many times.
I love that, sorry. Probably.
But yeah, like, he's really, like, he doesn't get tired. Like, he does, but he'll keep going. Like, when we're, like, writing music and recording, like, I'm over here yawning and shit, and he's over here still, like, on the computer, and like, damn, dude, like, props to you, but, like, I'm not like that.
Yeah, I gotta take a chill pill.
And sometimes, I have to tell him, like, hey, dude, like, that's cool that you're like that, but me and the singer, Isai, like, we're not like that. We get tired, we have other stuff to do. Like, we get that this is, like, all you do, and that's cool, but, like, I also gotta take care of myself, you know.
Yeah.
Like we were spending weekends at his house. Like I was sleeping over there during the weekends,
Shit.
and it wasn't sustainable. I had to tell him, like, dude, yeah, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I want to be in this band for the next 10 years, and I have to think, how can I do this, you know? And this is not the way. Like maybe for like a few weekends, yeah, but like every weekend, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah. No, that's good, and like you're speaking up about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because like I don't want to cause any arguments. I just want to like let him know, hey, man, like I want, like, first of all, I want to keep working with you. I want to keep doing this, but I have to think how I'm gonna keep doing this forever. Not forever, but for
exactly.
a long time.
And obviously, you bring something to the table, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's why, and you have your way of going about it. So like, just honor that and stay true to that, and you know, and it should all work out. Like he should get it, you know. Like clearly it works for him.
Yeah, it does.
And that's awesome. But like you have something that you're bringing to the table too. That's why you guys made this band, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you guys can like feed off of each other, and like you have your way of tapping into your creativity, and like you need to recharge.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's important to like have people around you that aren't exactly like you.
Yeah.
Because you learn from them, they learn from you, and it's kind of like a harmony, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to like be around people that are the same, because then they're just gonna like validate your stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're doing something wrong and they're also doing it, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, it's fine.
You want to be called out for it, because like, in a way it wakes you up, like, oh shit. Like that's what I do to him sometimes, you know. He's like, oh dude, I didn't realize I was like taking your guys' time like this, you know.
Yeah. And I think like I said, some people might get offended over that, but like, you know, the right people are gonna be like, nah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the kind of people I like to surround myself with. Like, I don't like to be around people like yes men. Yeah. You know, there's so many yes men out there in the world.
Or like people who like to kiss ass, you know.
Yeah. I find that so annoying. Like, I don't know. I sometimes maybe I can be a little too, like, to myself. But I'm like I like to people watch.
Okay.
And like when I first meet people, I'm very like kind of quiet, or I mean I'm friendly and like whatever. But like I'm also like kind of scoping you out. Like I'm not gonna just like jump in and like tell you everything about myself.
You test the waters first.
I have to dip your toes in, you know, cause like you just don't know what they're going through, and like where they're at, and like for me, like I have a lot of work I've done, and I, you know, mentally, and so I have to make sure that the people I surround myself with aren't going to like be detrimental to my journey.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a liability.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like nothing against them or anything. Like they're just at a different space than I am, and that's cool. And I can hang out with you. Like I can decide. Like, are you gonna be a person that I take in doses?
Okay.
Or are you gonna be a person that like can be in
stick with you?
Yeah, or can come into my inner circle. You know, who's gonna be allowed inside my bubble, like my 6-foot bubble, COVID. You know, like no, but it's just it's like just I used to think like everyone those are like, and not everyone's like you. I used to think like everyone was like me and like, oh, kind people, and like no one has malicious intent. Like, people think about others, right? Like, it's some people are assholes, man. Like, and I just would think like, who would think like that? Like, people just are different, and they don't navigate life the way I navigate life. Yeah. I'm always thinking about like not hurting people.
Because I feel like sometimes people get hurt and they think that's the way the world is. Oh, I'm gonna get hurt, so I'm gonna hurt everyone. You know? And they get stuck in that way of thinking. Unfortunately, you know. Yeah. It's a lot of people out there like criminals. That's how they think. You know, like someone hurt me, so I'm gonna keep hurting everyone else.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them before they get me.
Yeah.
Type. And for me, it was like, no, I want to make sure like I protect people. And like, I don't need to be out here protecting everyone, okay? Not everyone deserves me to protect them.
No, not really. It's a waste of energy, you know?
Waste of energy. And I wasted so much energy with a lot of people. And like, they gotta figure out their own shit. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I can see what you're going through, and I know I could probably say some stuff to like help push you in that way. But like, I can also kind of see that you're not there yet. So like, you'll get there when you get there, and I just don't really it's my place to tell you. Yeah,
you can only do so much, I feel. Also.
Yeah, like some people are just like, they love the chaos.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
Some people literally feed off the chaos. And that's cool, but it ain't for me.
A lot of it has to do with like dopamine, I feel. You know, like when you get that like dopamine and you feel good, you think that's the correct thing to do, but that's not always the case.
Yeah.
You know, like drugs, they give dopamine also, but is it really the
Yeah.
right thing to do always, you know?
Yeah, like you gotta think about like you said, like if it's hurting you or other people, like, but a lot of people aren't self-aware. And that's the problem.
It's a process also. Like sometimes you'll be self-aware like in pieces. You know, like okay, maybe this little habit isn't good for me. Because for a long time I'll tell myself, okay, like smoking is the last thing I'm gonna fix about myself because I had so many other problems. But then I realized, you know, maybe smoking isn't the thing I should keep doing. You know, so just stop it.
Yeah, that's so funny because, no one in our family. Well, I think my little brother, I told him, but my older brother, I think he kind of thinks, right? But okay, I went through like but I kind of went through like a heavy stage of it, and it was more of like, cause I was very anxious, very depressed, and I used to care about what people think, and whenever I started smoking, like I stopped caring about what people thought about me. And I started like relaxing a lot, and like anxiety would like stop. But then I hit a point where it was like, okay, well, it's helped when I needed it, but I started getting this feeling like, okay, I'm kind of overdoing this, and like, do I really?
Depending on it.
Yeah, like depending on it, and like I don't ever want to be dependent on something, so I started kind of reevaluating, like, can I handle this on my own? Like, what is it actually doing for me? And I don't know, I just kind of stopped one day to the next. Like, it served its purpose.
Yeah. That's
it was cool, and I learned a lot about myself. Yeah. And I don't hate on it, like, you know.
Yeah, me neither. Like, you know, like I still do it every now and then, you know. But like, it was like a daily thing, you know.
Same.
And like, like
it was bad.
Like in my case, like the thing that it was a wake up call. It was like the money, you know. Like I ran out of money, and I was like, dude, okay, what am I spending money on? You know, is this really something that I need? Because I need food more. You know what I mean? I need food. I need shelter more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna just stop because the money was a wake up call for me.
No, yeah, for me it was like, why? Like it became habit.
Yeah, like a ritual, you know.
Because like at first it was like, oh, I'm feeling anxious. Like this is why I'm gonna do it, or like I'm feeling upset, and I was using it to cope with stuff. And then after a while, like, well, I had already done therapy, a lot of stuff, and I was already dealing with those things. So like, it wasn't helping me in that way anymore. Now it just became a habit.
Yeah, just to do it, you know.
And I like wake up and like wake and bake, you know.
Because it was like an identity thing, you know. Yeah. Okay, this is what I do, you know. This is me.
Yeah, this is me. So when people would ask me like, what do you like to do? I don't know. I can't say that. Like I'd be chilling at home, you know. But yeah, and then I hit a point where I was just like, what am I doing? Like I don't.
Like, is this really helping me?
Yeah, like is this really helping me? And oftentimes towards the end there, it was actually doing the opposite. Like I would take a hit, and I was supposed to hang out with someone, and then I'd be like, oh dang, I'm a little too high. Yeah. So then, hey, not really feeling it, and I would cancel on people. Yeah. And then I started, it goes back to like, I was feeling alone and things like that. So I was like, yeah, let me just, and it literally like, it wasn't like oh, today is the day, I'm gonna stop. Okay. It was literally just like.
You just weren't thinking about it? Or?
Yeah, like I just didn't do it. And then like 3 days later, I realized like, oh, it's been a few days. And then, oh, okay, like, that's cool, you know. And then a week went by, a few more weeks went by, and then just stopped.
Yeah, same with me, because I've tried to stop. I tried that, you know, I told myself, okay, I'm gonna stop now, and I actually did for like days, but like I always went back to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll just end things here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like nervous about it. I was like, I don't know.
Nah, there's nothing to be nervous about. It's not like we have like a certain agenda, you know. We just literally just a conversation, you know. Yeah, I'm following like Joe Rogan's thing. He just said something, just talks. Okay. Have you listened to this podcast?
No, I haven't, but I know he has it.
So he doesn't just talk about anything, and that's it. Anything goes. But yeah, thank you for stopping by.
Fun. Yeah. I love how we're so similar, kind of.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening for Sweet Couch Podcast, episode number 2. Y'all have a good day, good night, good life. Peace.